All right. Can you hear me, dude?
I can. Me?
All right.
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
normally I hear the intro music and I didn't hear any intro music, so it was weird.
I
All
heard
right.
it.
We have Paul Wolfert from where?
Metro Detroit, Michigan.
Metro Detroit.
Yep.
Not necessarily Detroit, but Detroit. So we got Paul today. So what we're going to do today, I want to hear where you're coming in from. Welcome to Agent Content Creators, where we bring on amazing guests, talk about YouTube, Instagram, TikTokers. Is that a thing? TikTokers, all that fun stuff. And we help you create and develop awesome content that ultimately gets leads and creates more business. Paul has an amazing channel that, in fact, I ran into Paul, a month ago?
Yeah. Yep.
Was that it? A month ago? And I'm looking at Paul and we're talking and I'm like, hold on a second. Like, I know you from somewhere. And he's like, yeah, dude, YouTube, you idiot. I'm like, oh, that's right. I've seen your channel. So here's Paul's channel, a little over 8,000 subscribers or 8,100. Let's be fair, almost 8,200 subscribers. Really clean channel. What I love about Paul's channel is how clean it is. Not too much text. You got his face on there. I mean, we'll go in his channel a little more detail, but Paul, welcome onto the channel, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So you reached out and you're like, get me on Agent Content Creators. I want to trash talk a bunch of realtors. And I'm like, all right, let's go, man.
Yeah.
So I think that's how the conversation went.
No, I think it went kind of like, I'll help, but like, I don't know. It feels kind of weird. It feels weird to look at other agent stuff, but.
And you're announcing tomorrow you're moving to Real. Is that right? Is that how this? Just kidding. I'm just kidding, everybody.
Man.
I totally. Oh man, I'm kidding. All right. So we have what we're going to do today is we're going to talk with Paul a little bit and go through what he's done on his channel, talk about some of the success that he's seen and go through the details, right? Because that's what you're here for, is the details. I always want to learn from people that are doing things the right way. Not necessarily the right way, just doing things that are fun and creative. Paul's Instagram is also on point. His reels are freaking stupid good. So we can talk about that as well. We got a lot of people joining. Lee, what's up, man? Saw yesterday. Derek, what's up? So Paul, talk to us a little bit real quick. What got you into YouTube? Where have you been? How is it helping your business, or is it hurting your business? Let's hear from you.
Okay. Well, I started YouTube at the beginning of the pandemic because I had nothing to do. It was like pure boredom. You know, I wasn't allowed to go and show houses. Just sitting here in my office, I'm like, I need to make, better use of my time. And a friend of mine sent me a link to a YouTube creators class or whatever, just like a quick boot camp. And I just started making videos, just sitting here on my phone, so, and it took a while to take off, but it's been hugely successful. I mean, I think it's been hugely successful for me. I mean, like, I'm not doing as much business as you are, but
Well, we'll see. We'll put that to the test right now. So let's talk about that though. So you start this during the pandemic. How many videos are you putting out per week?
So
back then,
it's funny because Bern McGovern said that what did he say? He was like, you're the poster child for consistency. I'm like, Bern, it's not true at all. I've done less than 50 videos since the beginning of the pandemic. But what I keep doing is changing I tweak my thumbnails. I'll change the keywords. I'll change the titles. So I have about 50 videos that I've done total since the beginning of the pandemic, very strategically. I overthink a lot of things. So that's not great. I know that I could be doing better, but, and I'm starting to do that. So I'm starting to do one video a week. That's going to be that's the bar that I've set for myself.
Gotcha. So right off the bat, I mean, quality's fantastic. Are you doing all the editing, or have you been doing all the editing?
So one of the first things I did as soon as I started the channel, when I started making purposeful content, like when I was like actually thinking about what I was doing, is I hired an editor. Like that was the very first thing I did, because I tried to do some editing and it just wasn't great. Like you can go through, if you go to the historical content of my channel, I made videos back in 2016 or something, or way before that. And I tried to edit them on my own and it was bad. And then I was like, YouTube doesn't work. I give up, you know, and then I sort of came back to it. So no, I did hire an editor out of California. I found him on Upwork. I sent my footage to a few different guys, and he was the guy that like got my vibe, you know.
Gotcha. That's good. So these are the questions everybody always asks me, like, how did you find your editor? What do you shoot on? So far, when you started this, you started with just your camera phone, right? On your phone. You weren't super consistent, but your channel was growing because you were putting out quality content. You got an editor. What's the cost of your editor roughly? You don't have to give us like nickels and cents, but like
I'd say I spend. Oh, let me fix my headphones there. I spend about $150 to $200 a video. And my channel
stupid cheap.
So, and my channel makes, I'm monetized, and it's not like I'm not raking in the cash, but it makes about $200 to $250 a month. So, which, you know, that's fine. I've only made, you know, I've made 40 something, 50 videos. So, but then the business that it attracts is just, you know.
Okay. Amazing. Let's talk about that then. So far, if you're paying attention, anybody get any good takeaways? I want to hear your good takeaways so far in the comments. So, Bern, if you're still here, want to hear from you. Lincoln, want to hear from you. Lee, going to hear from you. Derek, what takeaways have you gotten so far? Are you overthinking it like somebody is?
Wait, are you pointing at me? Is that me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm on the other side.
Okay. So camera phone, check. We got to work on your audio for interviews. Check. We'll work on that. Quality content, not super expensive. Found somebody on Upwork. Let's talk about, you started during the pandemic. How long before you started getting leads from your channel?
Oh, I'd say it was a good couple months. Like I'd say about 3 months or so. And then, you know, one deal would come in, another deal would come in. It was like, I hope that this works. You know, I just have to just keep at it. And then it was like a snowball. It was like I was running from a snowball, you know, heading down a mountain.
At how many subscribers do you think is where you find we're like, oh crap, like I have almost way too much business?
It started before 1,000. I mean, like it was, you know, I felt the business coming in. It wasn't like, you know, and then that's where I started to overthink it. I started to overthink things because I was focused on the vanity metrics of the subscribers. So I wanted to make content to attract subscribers, and I started forgetting about the actual things that were bringing the business.
So we're talking like 500 or 600 subscribers. You're starting to get business. It's picking up. Did you start hiring anybody besides an editor at that point, or did you just keep trying to run and gun?
Nope. Just try to keep running and gunning. No one else except for the editor. And I just kept, and I saw Bern's question here.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. It's just an editor. I have a full-time assistant, so I always had that. So it was good. That was good to help.
I think the hardest, and this, I've been saying this, and we did a inside, if you're part of Reel, Trey and I are doing on the backside of Reel once a month. We're doing a training, and there's always trainings in there. So if you want, when we're doing those trainings, if you want to like sneak in and see what we're talking about, let me know and shoot me a DM me on Instagram, and I can invite you to the next one. But so what I said yesterday is that once you get to 1,000 subscribers, you got to start getting leverage before 1,000. Like once you get to like 500 or 600 subscribers, you got to get leverage, whether it's an assistant, ISA, or whatever it is, because by the time you hit 1,000 subscribers, your business is going to start taking off to a point where two things happen. Number one, you're too busy to do videos. So now you start losing business because videos consistency keep going, or your channel stops growing because you're too busy to do videos. So, or you're so damn stressed out like I was for an entire year. So is that, you know, kind of what you started to see once you got to that point?
Yeah. So I had my assistant in place, and I hired her way before I needed it years ago. And then I've needed it because I've always done like a decent amount of business. One thing that I did when I started this was I changed all the automations on my CRM to reflect YouTube, because I saw the shift happening.
Yeah.
So if you sign up on my website, it shoots you like a, automated text asking if you found me on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And it'll kick them a link back to it. I'm like, if you're looking for a place to live, you might want to check out some of the videos there.
Nice.
So that was perfect, because now every time somebody comes into my site and it says, hey, did you find me on YouTube? They're like, yes. And then I just tag them as a YouTube lead and I know where they came from.
Nice.
So that happened. And then I just recently hired a showing assistant, because I the more content I make about different cities around me, because I'm in Metro Detroit, so it's a lot of small areas. I can't be everywhere, you can't.
Well, that was our conversation when we were in Houston it wasn't No Agent Left Behind. It was
the Video Marketing Blueprint.
So you were talking about, I don't want to do videos in this area. Maybe it was somebody else was like, I don't want to do videos in this area because I don't really want to work that area. And I'm like, well, bring on a buyer's agent and work out a split fee. Yeah. And now you can make larger, wider net content.
Yep. So I have a showing assistant now, and I've been trying to put the anchors in place in different destination areas in Michigan, because my site's moving MI. It's the state of Michigan. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there to put my anchors in all over and just pump leads to people, wherever I make content about. Because if I make content about a city, I will get calls about it, and it's good and bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just in Georgetown, which is 45 minutes north of where I am now. And the seller was like, well, do you work this area? I'm like, absolutely. Because it's true. I mean, I do. And I have team members in the area. So, all right. So you're getting content, you're flowing. How do you come up with your content and your thumbnails? And before you answer that, we are going to start doing a channel review here in about 5 minutes. I just want to really get an opportunity to hear from Paul, because he's done some amazing things. So how do you come up with content, and how do you create your thumbnails?
Now, I know you're not a fan of these tools, but I really like Keywords Everywhere, and I like TubeBuddy. And I like those tools because, a lot of big creators talk about how those are not needed and you can just sort of wing it. I think that the bigger creators, it doesn't really matter for them. But when you have a small channel and you're trying to look for the things that people are searching for logically when they're moving to your area, you have to look at it from what a buyer is going to do or what a seller is going to do. So I use those tools. I really like Keywords Everywhere. So I use those a lot, and then I keyword load sort of everything. So the title, the thumb, because YouTube actually reads your thumb, and then the first paragraph I know is really important.
I love how you use trash hand as your text in your videos. It's my favorite.
I love it.
So what I love about the green color on here is it definitely catches your eye. What made you come up with this green color as most of your text?
So when I started with purple. So purple was my original. I did a lot of purple. Oh, there they are. Oh, those are nightmares. Those are so terrible. So I started with purple, and then I tried to do yellow, and a lot of it washed out. But I found that you're not going to see a lot of green, that green color, the Mountain Dew green. You don't see it in a lot of YouTube videos, and you don't see it in a lot of home pictures and pictures of areas. So I just felt like it stood out, and I could just easily replicate it and draw people to it.
So you come up with your content from just keywords, or how is it that you're coming up with the content? You just copy my channel with the "Don't move here"?
No, I mean, so what I did was the way that I came up with my content is I started with because I figured the first thing I would do is look at the state, right? Like moving to Texas. I would say moving to Texas. So I did moving to Michigan, pros and cons. And then best places to live in Michigan in each county. And then I broke them down from there. So if I have a county with 5 cities that I highlight, then I can just do pros and cons of each one of those cities, and then spider them off from there. So each person that finds me, they could go down a rabbit hole of, wherever they need to go. Oh,
got it. So this is one
So
of
I
your
made
most viewed videos right here. Do not move to Detroit.
This video. So I talked to Ken Posick, and he
Yeah.
said, he sent me a message because he kept saying, don't make videos about Detroit, because he's from my area. And then he was in town for an event, and he sends me this video. I probably have it saved still. And he's walking around downtown Detroit. He goes, make videos about Detroit. I'm like, oh, okay. I will. I'll do it. It's just such a wide price range. I mean, you can buy a house for like $200 here. So, I mean, if you watch this video, it's not really about not moving here. It's kind of like highlights the area.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too, is people think, oh, you can't make videos that say this. You can't make, videos that are, controversial. I love controversial videos. I think they're the greatest because you don't have to be the controversy and you don't have to be spouting the controversy, but you can take things that other people have said, comments here, comments there, feedback from other things, and it's not coming from you. You're citing where it's coming from. And so people are like, oh, you can't, your fair housing laws, you can't do that. I'm like, I didn't say
reading the news.
I'm just reading what's on the screen behind me, and people get so offended. Oh my, like what? Well, the other day was that guy in YouTube Mastermind, the guy who posted about the neighborhood, like 5 worst neighborhoods by crime or whatever, and everybody went berserk. Like, that's fair housing laws. I'm like, if you're pulling stats and you're citing stats, you're not breaking any rules, and you're not telling one ethnic group or one minority group or whoever not to move here. If you're just like, hey, look, here's the information, do with it what you will. Like, you're the news. And so that's I love that one. I didn't want to get into it and argue with anybody, but I was like, that's a good one.
I made a similar video. It was like the most dangerous cities in Michigan, and I'm like, Detroit is not number one, because it's not. So when I made that, I had a bunch of real estate agents who were like, you can't do that. You gotta take that down. And I was worried for a little bit. I'm like, I'm not picking these cities. I'm just reading somebody else's list based on stats.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool, man. So business has been well from YouTube. You're growing your channel like crazy. What's the future? Like, what's the next steps in your channel?
I think I feel like the next steps are going to be first I need to get some sort of consistency, right? Like I've already discussed that. Consistency, and then branching out into other areas and hooking up with agents so that we can work together, so a mutually beneficial relationship with people across my state.
Awesome. And are you doing live streams? Have you heard my rants on live streams?
I have heard your rants on live streams. I am not doing any live streams.
Okay. Well, we just started that today. Well, awesome. All right. So let's review some channels. But before we do that, I mean, just fantastic job with the channel. Really, not to blow smoke or anything. Like, I had seen your channel in the past. When I met you in person, I was like, holy crap. Like, I know this guy. I loved his content when I saw it. I loved how clean it is. So if you're going to rip off and duplicate anybody's channel,
thanks. Appreciate that.
Okay. But not from Wisconsin. And if you are going to rip off and duplicate, just give him a little bit of credit. That's all I'd probably ask. How many leads do you get a month? That's actually a good question.
So it hasn't been as many as it typically is, but it's usually a few a week. So a few a week, but I think any creator here knows if you have a well-oiled YouTube machine working, they're not people that are, possibly thinking they're ready to go and they want to work with you and they just want to know if you have time to work with them. So it's unlike any other lead source I've ever experienced.
Are you getting seller leads from YouTube?
Yep. I've had,
this is what I always hear people say. Oh, it's all buyers. And I'm laughing because as the market slows, right, you're going to need buyers. And so all these people have been like, oh, I don't want buyers. I'm like, I'm going to still be selling real estate in 3 months when you're not.
Yeah. I mean, so I do get buyers, but when people want to move to another city, when they're moving from one city to the next, they're still Googling the information. Yep. They're looking up the schools and everything like that. So they are still looking for information about the cities. So it's not like it just goes away. Like if somebody sits down and they look up, the top places to live in Oakland County, let's say, if you're moving from one county to the next, they'll find you.
I mean, look, as long as people are still leaving California, you'll still have a YouTube channel, you know?
Hey, do you see that video? I've got a video of that. Yeah, I've got leave. It's like move from California to Michigan, and that video is amazing. It does really well.
Yeah. So notice to anyone, look and see where people are moving from, and then make videos about that. You know, one of the easiest ways, I'm going to give this little nugget. If nobody's tried this, I'm going to give you this little nugget. The best way to come up with the content for your channel, Paul, it's super easy. It's super freaking easy. It's Facebook. So let me explain. Go to your moving to groups, right? Every area has a moving to Wisconsin, moving to Michigan, moving to Austin group, right? Go in there and just write a couple questions like, hey, what do people face when they move here? And get everybody's response, because people are like, oh, I'm just moved here and I hate this. Or what did you like or dislike when moving to my area? What do you wish you would have known? They will give you your content for you for free. Perfect. You don't got to do the research. If they're looking for it, other people are looking for it. Or read through there and read what people are posting, because those questions are not questions that only one person has. A lot of people have those questions. So there you go. I just saved you a lot of money. You didn't even have to get Geico or pay for this channel. So there you go. Have you ever done that though? Looked at the Facebook groups?
I have not.
Well, there you go.
That's a good idea.
I just saved you a lot of time. Search here is a dumb to not work with buyers. Look at Ken. Yeah. Look at Ken. All right. So we're going to go through and look at some channels here. If you haven't put your channel down, go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll try to review everybody's who's here. I picked a couple from the chats. I posted this a couple places. So we're going to review. I don't think Paul's seen these channels yet. So he's going to get to look at them with fresh eyes, where I've actually watched a couple of videos from each of these. But drop your channel below in the comments. And then again, tell us where you're coming from and we will roll. So here we go. The first one is, where do we go? Let's go back. All right. So, I'll get out of here. Okay. So Rolando Real Estate, I don't know where he lives, anything about this channel other than he's got 3 videos on here, 96 subscribers. Paul.
Right off, you've got to have the location. So like 5 tips for buyers in this crazy market. So it depends on what you're going for. If you want to just be a real estate informational channel, that's a hard niche to break into, like across the United States, right?
Yeah.
I personally, if this were my channel, I would say 5 tips for buyers in Austin, Texas, right? Like, I mean, I would have some sort of tie back to the actual area that you're in.
Yeah. Looking at this one, how do you feel about an intro right off the bat that takes up 10 seconds before you say anything?
Hook.
Yeah.
You got to have a hook first.
Yeah.
Hook first. I had my editor take my intro that I've had forever, and take the same intro and like just chop it down, because I just want it to be quicker. Like I don't want it to take much time. So it's like it went from 7 seconds to like 3 or 4.
Yeah, because if you look, here, let me pull you back up. If you look at yours, you're talking first couple seconds, still talking, and then you're 19 seconds in? Yeah. 18 seconds in, then you do 3 seconds. Yeah. And then you're back to it. Mine's very similar. I don't even do all the I just say your favorite Austin realtor and keep rolling. So, all right. So let's look at who was the next one I had on here. All right. So obviously number one with this one, start filming some more videos, lose the long intro. I watched Rolando's, and I'm just to be me. It's really, really slow. He's not framed in very well. See how his head's like way below the screen. So this is an issue I worked with for a long time, just not framing yourself properly. So, and then you have way too much in the background. I'm looking at the books. I mean, you gotta be careful what you have behind you as a background. So I would definitely change up the background on this and jump into the content a lot faster. But he posted this a day ago, 434 views. So that's not bad. So
not bad at all.
Yeah. Who else have we got in here? Oh, Rolando's on here. There you go. Yeah, from our Rolando is here, and we went to his channel first. Rolando, what do you think about our assessment of because he said in his video when we first clicked on the video, he starts talking, he did say he was from Alberta, Canada. Okay, Jen. Hey guys watching. Jen, I think I have your channel. We'll pull up yours as well. So let's look at the pool guy. So your pool home realtor. So 3,000 subscribers. You're on your way, man. Definitely on your way. What do you think about just first glance at this channel? Looking at it?
So, well, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. I would probably make the text bigger, like make the thumbnails a little more clickable. I mean, if that's is that a word? That's a word, right?
Clickable, yeah.
So I would work on thumbnails a bit, but it looks like they're getting some views.
Oh my God, the Lehigh Acres real estate market. Wait until you see these numbers.
I'd say the same thing with this guy. What is his name? Didn't even see his name. But Lee Acres. Yeah. So I'd say the same thing with him is that if you're looking at this video, he looks like he's 3 feet tall. So I definitely in the videos frame yourself a little bit better. If you look at Paul's videos, he frames himself very well. Where's Paul? Frames himself. Look at this. I mean, Paul. Well done.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good job. This is a little bit further down. It's kind of a tough shot, so I'd fix the camera. Oh, wrong guy. Let's get him out of here. There we go. Same thing here, though. I mean, there's too much stuff going on in the background. I mean, you got your Remax stuff. That's cool. It shows that you do drone stuff. But what do you think?
Is Lee Acres his name, or is that the area?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Let's go back. Let's go back to the channel. Let's go back. Yeah, it doesn't even say his name on here. I mean, which is fine, but
yeah,
I want some record. I would, maybe in the title somewhere right here, I'd just put your name.
Yeah.
Well, any other thoughts?
We shouldn't
on
have
this?
to hunt.
Yeah. Not a bad channel. I mean, 3,000 subscribers. You got to be doing something right. I agree though with the text. Like, too much text here. That's a lot of views. 1,200 views for that much text. Interesting.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if I mean, does anyone tell you if they're putting any money behind any of the?
Yeah, I want to know, are you putting any money behind these videos? That's interesting. Let's see. What are the comments we got? Jen's still here. Loved it, Rolando. Good job. Jen, I'll try to find yours next. Actually, Jen, can you just put yours in the chat and I'll click on it? Because I saw yours, but it's going to take me a second to find it. How long did it take YouTube to start becoming most of your business? I'm trusting the process and hope to see consistent leads coming soon. I think we talked about this a little bit. Why don't you give your experience, Paul?
So I would say that whole time around COVID, like the time's a blur to me. So I don't know if I would say a full year, but where it like that was the primary source of business. I think it took maybe not a full year, but it took a little while before it happened. What about you? Was it
4 months? I mean, I had a channel for a while, but I changed what the content was. And that's where things started changing for me, is I changed the actual content. Because the content I was doing was all, fun stuff with my son, which was great. And a lot of people would go, hey, we watched your older videos and we love all the stuff you did with your son. So I was doing just, stupid videos. I was doing, listing videos, and it wasn't really growing. And then I changed the content in December 2019. And then I'd say by March, COVID hit. And then as COVID hit, I did the same thing you did. I just buckled down and shot. I mean, I was consistent then. Yeah. I just shot a bunch of videos and started putting them out. And then literally by the end of March, I was so freaking busy. I was glad I had kind of batched a lot of that content, because by the end of March, I was like, oh, nobody's going to watch my videos because COVID, blah, blah, blah. And April was one of my busiest months of that year. And it was because everybody was calling me from YouTube. And then by June, I was just we were trying to, we were handing out more referral deals to people in my downline with Real in my Austin area because I didn't have a team and I could not keep up with all the leads coming in. So we did really well with referrals that year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why I tell people just find a referral partner, because if you find a good referral partner, I mean, it's instead of those leads going dead. Corey, I'm trying to find your channel. I can't see it. You got to drop it in the. Yeah, I don't see it. All right. All right. So next one. Let's roll. Living in West Georgia. I don't think she's on here, Lindsay. I don't think you're on here, are you? No. This is a good one though. I saw this channel and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, she's killing it. Only 129 subscribers, but she's killing it. I love this channel. What do you think so far about thumbnails, aesthetic, without clicking on a single video?
Well, I like all the fire, right?
Yeah.
Fire always works. I mean, you put fire in something, and she's Century 21. So, I mean, that's what I am, right? I'm a Century 21 agent. I mean, I don't have that anywhere, but I am. So I like that.
Okay. I like that she doesn't have her phone number on here because, man, I 2 in the morning. You want to hear a funny story? So last night we were doing a live stream and we talked about crypto, the government stuff. Like we had tinfoil hats. Actually, it was called Mullet Fest. We all wore mullets because one of the guys has a mullet. It's a crazy event last night. Well, I'm telling people that I'm leaving Austin, whatever. This morning, I keep getting all these calls from Rocket Mortgage. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are these people in Rocket Mortgage calling me? So finally, I take one of the calls. The guy's like, yeah, you're moving to California. I'm like, what? Like, why the hell would I like? So automatically, I'm like, that's weird. I would never move back to California. Sorry if you still live there. But I'm like, I would never move back. So he's like, well, your phone number's this. I'm like, that's right. Your email's this. I'm like, that's right. He's like, it says that you live at 1600 Pennsylvania. Do you know what 1600 Pennsylvania is? It's the White House.
Oh, nice.
I go, bro, you're getting fooled. Somebody's messing with me because I said I'm leaving. And so they put in that I was moving to California. Like, stop.
Where are you moving to?
I haven't made the video yet. I'm not telling you. I can tell you it's not Michigan.
Are you moving out of state?
I'm not saying yet. We're leaving Austin. So yeah. So anyway, back to Lindsay. I like the thumbnails, obviously the pros and cons. I like this one that we're seeing first off. I really do like that it's obviously something that's relatable to the area she's in. I wouldn't know where this was at. I'm not a big fan of pros and con videos anymore. I think you should stop doing them completely, but that's me. One thing I noticed is she's doing back-to-back pros and cons videos. So that's probably hurting her channel. Do you go by the 4 bucket rule and change out your content every week, or what do you do?
I'm just trying to get back in. I'm trying to be consistent. So like that's my first obstacle, but I try to switch the buckets of content. So whether it's going to be like just pure entertainment, state-based, city-based. So I try to have different buckets like that. Yeah,
I agree. So if nobody understands what we're talking about, so in a month if you're doing one consistent video per week, you have 4 different topics you can talk about. So don't go pros and cons and then next week pros and cons. Maybe you do pros and cons and then a versus video, or you do 5 best places to live, whatever it is. What I can say looking at her channel here, some bigger net topic videos would probably be helpful. So like talking about the market in general, like I could tell she's getting started here, so she's got a ways to go, but I like where her channel's at already. I would just tell her to keep pumping the content out, and we'll click on a video real quick and see what we're looking at.
Lakewood Alley is one of the best spots in our area. A lot of
audio could be a little bit better.
In Alabama, go to Lakewood Alley on the weekends and on the holidays. I lived here for half of my life, so I have a pretty good understanding of the Lakewood Alley area. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all the pros and cons about Lakewood Alley and whether you should have a getaway home there. The very first pro.
Love it. So I like what she did there. The audio could be a little bit better. All of our audio could be a little bit better, but if you could hear, which you probably couldn't, she basically just went right into the video. She didn't talk about selling real estate and talk about any of that. Just right in the video why you should live here. Love it. Good job. Paul, I noticed you're asking for business more on your channel. What's up with that?
I always have. Like when I ask people to contact me, yeah. I've always done that. And I've thought about taking that out or removing it partially. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't think it's wrong to ask for business. It's how you ask for business. And I'm not sure how you ask for business. Somebody actually told me yesterday in the real event that Paul asks for business all the time now. But I think it's about how you ask for business, right? So if you're right off the bat, I'm an agent, call me, I'll help you. That's probably not going to, but if you're like talking about like, oh, I help this client, you can call me if you need help, right? And then you keep going. I think there's definitely ways to do it where you're not being a pushy, salesy realtor.
Right. Because
the only thing less trusting than a realtor is a lawyer and then a shark, which are both the same thing. So, yeah. All right. YouTube thumbnails. Do you create your thumbnails or do you have an editor?
Yeah. PicMonkey.
PicMonkey. There you go. PicMonkey.
Yep.
I wish I had a one of those little links and to send that out because I promote PicMonkey all the time. I love PicMonkey. What do you like about PicMonkey? Let me ask you that.
I like how easy it is.
Yeah.
I like that I can just go back to an old thumbnail and if I'm like, that would probably work for like something like it would work for another video. And I can just make a copy of it and just swap out some stuff. So I just like how easy it is. And I change my thumbnails all the time. So like I said, like it's easy to do that.
Do you A/B test on your thumbnails with what's that called?
TubeBuddy.
TubeBuddy, yeah.
No, I don't.
There you go.
Do you?
No, I mean, I think a lot of people get caught up by the CTR and all that stuff. If you put out a really good looking thumbnail and the video is doing well, then there's no need to change it. If you're looking and the CTR just starts out below 10 and the video goes nowhere, then it's either the title or the thumbnail or the topic. So I'll change out thumbnails at a certain point and then I'm like, I'm done with that. I'm already on to my next video. So, but yeah.
I was going to, and I think a lot of people know this, but the more specific you get in your videos, I've found that they might not get the most views, but they might be the most quality views. So like people might very specifically be like, so I just made a video about don't move to Florida from Michigan. So that's the newest video that I have out right now.
Yeah.
And I did that because it's the #1 place that people move to from Michigan. So that's a seller, like that is just for sellers, to attract sellers that are leaving my area. They want to move to Florida. So this video, it's to attract sellers. I know it's not going to have 1 billion views on it, but I know that like the people who watch it are going to be, they're thinking about moving from Michigan to Florida. So it's like a perfect, like that's what I want.
Nice. Okay, cool. Let's hit some other channels here. Any other questions? Keep dropping them in the comments and we'll keep rolling. So Lee, how is he asking for business? I'm curious. Jen, I can't forget about your channel. Jen, I don't want to forget about your channel. Okay. So this is Brad Alexander. What do you think just off the bat, off the cuff? What are we thinking here without even clicking on a video?
Well, I need to make more videos. The last video was a couple months ago.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
And it was Brad, get with it, man.
Right. Thumbnails look like they're pretty good.
They're decent.
Yeah. Not bad.
I'm curious. 674 subscribers 8 months ago was the last video, unless I'm on the wrong channel, but this is what he posted. I like the crash video down here like that. Some of this a little bit about too much text. I mean, one thing I gotta tell people is like, if you see that the bottom right-hand corner of a thumbnail, I had somebody who was putting like their face like down towards the bottom right-hand corner. I'm like, well, you got to understand the timestamp's cutting off your face for most people, so they can't see the expression. So what I like about his videos is you can see his expressions in his videos pretty well. Ken, I always chide Ken because he's always off to the side. His face is a little small, but it's kind of a reaction to what's actually in the video. And I wish you could see more of Ken's face, but He does a good job here. What was that?
I said, right. Like I try to be over to the side, but I wear a black shirt, a black t-shirt in every one of my videos, just about every one of my videos.
Yeah.
And so the shirt, it just blends in. You'll just have like the numbers on the shirt or whatever.
Jen Sylvester. I don't want to forget your channel. Jen Sylvester. Remax. Is she Remax? Nailed it. Found her. 200 subs. All right. Jen, you're up. We are going to, if you're still here, right off the cuff, banner. What do you think?
Yeah, the banner or the content itself. Well, I like she has some playlists and everything. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think she's doing a pretty good job. Let's see.
See what are her playlists. So created playlists, multiple playlists. You have seller information. I like seller information. I'm curious about that one. Buyer information, real estate, community, listings. 5 solid topics to have on your channel.
Yeah.
Look at this seller information.
So Halloween is not the scariest thing going on this month. If you are buying or selling a house, no doubt you are experiencing suspense, fear, anxiousness, and plenty of sleepless nights.
Jen, where are you? Jen, oh my gosh. Off the bat, I want to know more. Just the way you're talking, the way you're looking at the camera, I'm engaged. Phenomenal job. My only critique would be the background is a little busy. If there's a way to blur your background a little bit more so you're not seeing all the books, but love it already. What do you think, Paul?
I like it. So, right. So that, and the videos that are like time specific they're always hard to like to get people like engaged with, because this one, like, it's obviously it was probably shot around Halloween, right?
Yeah.
But then then it doesn't make sense when it's further along. So
go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I shot a video about like winters in Michigan, and like when I published it, people were all pissed because it wasn't winter in Michigan anymore. But now it's one of my highest ranking videos because it's evergreen. So when you're giving information, it's a little bit difficult to sort of keep people on like, what, like scary, like it's summer.
I would have gotten on this video, I would have gotten to the B-roll a little faster. 22 seconds in. I'm just a big fan of B-roll because I have ADHD. So if I'm looking and there's nothing changing, I'm just looking at your face, then 22 seconds is a little bit long for me. So I would try to get a little B-roll in like 8 seconds in. Like right here when you put your the downtown district, right here, I would have put something of the downtown district with your title. Yeah. But I mean, overall, Jen, I'm not gonna lie, and you have a lot of good B-roll in here. And I'll let this play through to help with your analytics, but and you have a lot of B-roll. I think I would just gotten to the B-roll a little bit faster on this one. What does anybody else think about Jen as we're looking at this? If you're looking at Jen's channel, any other comments on this? I like it. I'm telling people about pros and cons to stop doing pros and cons. What are your thoughts on pros and cons videos, Paul?
So yeah, it's funny because I didn't want to keep doing them. I started making city review videos. And I just shot a pros and cons video because I see that people are still searching it. Like like people are like, according to Keywords Everywhere and like, the other tools, people are still looking for these videos. So I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but I think that there's ways to still do it, but not name it that. And like, if you look at my channel, I have like the city, like Austin reviewed, or like, I don't know how I have them worded, but like a review of the city living there, and you could still make it a pros and cons video.
Yeah.
But just call it something different.
Yeah. It's all about titling, right? Pros and cons. Those videos do well. Like if you're growing your channel and you're trying to get people to your channel, I think it's a fantastic thing. She's at 200 subscribers, so absolutely be doing pros and cons videos. But as you grow your channel, I would start knocking the pros and cons videos off and titling them a little more specific to, like, you know, what people hate about moving to X.
Yep.
What people love about moving to X. Because when you use love and hate, it's a little bit, it creates more of a feeling than pro versus con. So what people love about moving to Michigan, what people hate about moving to Detroit. Do people actually love Michigan? One video that I've done, and I don't know why I know more people haven't R&D'd this video, and there's only, what, 20 people watching this right now? So between you and I, Paul, the regret videos, by far the best videos I've done.
Where do you get do you find them in like Reddit groups, or where do you find like the regret information?
So it's super easy. Just like I said, go to Facebook and be like, hey, if whoever's moved to Austin, like, or wherever, like, what did you love and what did you not like? What, being here a year or whatever, what do you love and not love? And so you're going to take that and be like, look, people who have regretted moving to Austin, this is one of their regrets. They didn't like this. It's the same thing as a pros and cons video.
Yep.
But it's not titled a pro and con video. What people regret. So people don't like moving there. It's just, you're saying the con up front, but you could say, yeah, people are not liking the traffic in Austin. They regret moving here because they thought the traffic was going to be better. But the reality is a lot of people that work from home, or that can still do work from home, there's a lot of great things about work from home. Here's one of the other regrets people have. And so if you're doing regret, or you can find an article, like, you know, there's tons of articles out there. Like how I pulled mine is somebody had written, like, I regret moving to Austin from California. And basically I just ripped apart this guy's article. I did a follow-up to that. And basically I just took quotes from other people and threw them on the screen. Like, hey, this is what people have said, why they don't like it, and given my feedback on what they do and don't like.
Perfect.
So
I need to do one of those. Yeah.
You absolutely, everyone on this channel, Lee.
That and live streams, right?
Yeah. Lee, I want to know why people regret moving to Florida. If they don't, the reality is they don't. At the end of the video, you could be like, people don't regret it at all. They love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it fun. Jen, I'd love to see one about your area too. That's my challenge to everybody that's watching here. I want you to make what people regret about and then moving to your area. So I want to see those videos, and let's see how well they do. You come back on this channel in a month and be like, oh my God, this is one of my best videos. Let's hear it. Rip off, go to my channel, watch my full regret videos, watch the whole thing, drop a little comment for me, help me out there. And I'm Jen, look, I'm still playing your video. So I'm not killing your analytics. See? Rip it off, duplicate it. Like I hate that there's people out there that sell coaching when all of this stuff is for free. I would rather give to you, encourage you to come to Real Broker and give it for free, because look, there's only so many people in this YouTube community actually spending the time doing this content. So let's help each other out, right? That's the best thing. That's why I do this channel. That's why I do all the help. I go on stage and talk. I prop amazing people up like Paul, who's doing a phenomenal job. Lee, I gave him feedback on his channel. He's crushing it. He was crushing it before me. Don't let him lie to you. But there we go. Sorry. I went on a rant. I like to rant. Paul, you gotta fill in with banter here. That's how you do
it.
I thought
you were.
No. It's your turn. This is where you give feedback. Like, oh yeah, no, I met you in Houston. You're a total jackass. Like, you got really drunk that one night. I don't regret jumping into the slicing. See, Jen, thank you. Let's do one more, since Paul's lost his words. Brandon Blankenship. Anything to add, Paul?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
If you have more questions for Paul, who's crushing it, drop the questions below. Thanks, Jen, for joining, by the way.
I did want to say real quick. I did want to say when you were just talking about making the regrets videos and things like that, I did have I made videos that are the worst things about, or when I made those videos specifically about cities, those do amazing. So you're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that. When you make the worst things about people love that stuff. They eat it up, you know?
Yeah. And look, I was in Toronto a couple weeks ago. And one of the we were doing the Q&A section. This lady said, well, I look at your thumbnails because I just did a screenshot of like the top videos, right, of my channel and said, here's an idea. She says, well, your channel looks gimmicky. And, people that do YouTube kind of looked at me like, oh, what is he going to say? And I go, well, if you mean clickbaity, then yes, I've done exactly what YouTube wants me to do. And so that's the whole point, because I think she wanted to know about more luxury stuff. You can make luxury stuff and put it on your channel. You can do luxury videos, but people want to know the pros and cons. How do you make that entertaining is how you grow your channel. Is it gimmicky? Absolutely. Is it not gimmicky? Like
you've got to be clickbaity. I mean, like you have to get if you don't get the click, it doesn't matter how awesome your video is. If you don't get the click, you don't get the view. So like, and I have people that are like, this is clickbait. I'm like, well, it's not. Like the information's in there, but but I got.
I love when they go this. They comment on the channel, the video. This is just a clickbait video. Yeah. Well, yeah, it did its job, didn't it?
Yep, it worked. It got you. Like,
and look, nobody wants to spend hours creating a video and then it not get watched.
Right.
How many people on here have put out videos that you put so much time and energy in, and then you did all the keywords, right? You thought you did everything. You put out a okay thumbnail and okay title, and it doesn't do anything. And you're like, God damn, I put so much energy and time in that. And then what do you start doing? You start sharing that video everywhere. Like you text the link to all your friends. You text the link, and you put the link on Facebook groups, and all of a sudden the analytics are like going, what's going on? And that video doesn't do it. You actually do worse by doing all that. You actually do more harm to the video than if you just let it sit there organically and maybe change the title and change the thumbnail. I
wish more people understood that. And that's one of the reasons why you probably don't see me post very much, especially in the very beginning. I don't post very much on the real estate groups, because I didn't want other real estate agents looking at my channel in the beginning, because I just didn't want the views from them. I didn't want the clicks. Yep. I didn't want the views. I wanted just the people who are looking for the content. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't get that. And that's, if you look at the channels that grow faster, the people who don't put their links everywhere, don't put their links in the Karen Carr group, they don't put their links in the YouTube mastermind group, the RETV group, or just in a random group to begin with. The people that just do the slow burn, because that was my problem. Like, why I'm saying this so passionately, that was my problem. I was doing that. I was putting links everywhere trying to get people to view them. So I'm not beating up on people for doing it, because I did it. I'm trying to help. And I think the more people understand that, I'm trying to come from a good place, just like you, that the better your channel will do. Right. Right. I'm with you. 100%. You're with me. Yeah. And it's not clickbait if you deliver on the promise. So that's true. Yes. Right. That's what I say. Let's do one more. Keep the comments coming. We got about 7 minutes left, because I only have an hour for today. But Brandon Blankenship out of Chicagoland. Nice thumbnails, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon. With my text and my colors. I give him a hard time about it. So like, he knows, like, yeah, I like the thumbnails because it's my stuff. Yeah. It's my colors. And that's what's funny is I did this on purpose. So I think so. Brandon's channel's definitely changed a lot from the beginning. He's gone back and changed some of his thumbnails. It's still a little too texty for me. I'm a big fan of as little text as possible. I mean, if you look at the thumbnail for this video, the only text was your text. So I'm a big fan of like as little text as possible. And that was just one word. One word. I mean, I don't really want to put my channel up here because we're doing other channel reviews, but as little words as possible is my thing. And like Katie Day the other day, she's done all these videos. And so she's like, hey, help me with a thumbnail. It was literally a bubble being carried off with a house in it, her face. That was it. It was super simple. And it's one of her most viewed videos recently. So obviously the topic is important, but let's get Brandon. But sometimes, I mean, when you're looking on YouTube, do you look so a lot of times I don't even read what the title is. Like I'll see a thumbnail and I'm like, oh, like it just makes sense. It could just have a word or two, but I'm like, yes.
Yep. The prime example is this guy right here.
Oh yeah.
Graham Stephan.
Yeah.
Like, is this which channel is this? Yeah. So
he has like yeah.
I mean, I am a little annoyed about this market. It's 2022 video. I was literally making this exact thumbnail when he put this out. I'm like, all right, it's gonna look like I'm copying him, but I have copied some of his thumbnails in the past, especially like this I quit one or the tax one, like where he's like laying on the table. I love that because I love the headspace. I quit. You need nothing else, right?
Yep.
2 words. I quit. The end. 2022. I mean, so if you're going to,
so good.
And I love how he's using all the orange colors for his thumbnails now, because I've been doing that for a while and then he started doing it. So I think Graham watches my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure he does.
Probably does.
He has to.
Probably does. Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you're going to rip off somebody's thumbnails, just rip off Graham Stephan. There you go. Let's see. Great show. With Ocean Edge. Okay, let's do this one. Last one. Ocean Edge PNW. Let's see. Any other tips you want to give while I'm pulling this up?
Don't make, I mean, like this is a bad example because of his stuff, but don't make the titles too long. You know, I see a lot of people try to like put like a million words in their title. And I don't know how you attack it, but like I try to keep it sort of short, but I don't like to fill up like all the space that I have.
I agree. I try because I mean, you get what, 100 something characters. If I can get it under 40 characters, I'm in. I love it. Okay. I just don't. I'm with you. The least. Because you can, I mean, literally become a thesaurus, right? Just thesaurus, like every word you can that for a negative word and word salad it until you find the right word. A lot of times I'll text people like, hey, here's a title I'm thinking of. And look, you're in a group of people. If you go into Real Estate YouTube Mastermind or some of these other groups and be like, hey, help me come up with the title. Here's the thumbnail. Here's what the video is about. Like, people will give you good feedback. Now, look, real estate agents aren't going to always be the best for videos and giving you feedback on videos, right? Because some agents will tell you, oh, don't put out this video because it's going to make people mad. Well, making people mad isn't a bad thing. But they can help with titles as well. So let's review this one. Also, what are your thoughts on shorts? We will do shorts. That's a good question. We'll end on shorts. Real quick, what do you think about this channel?
I'd work on the thumbnails for sure. Is there a header? No header? Or is it if you click on home?
There you go.
Okay. So like I'd want it to be more punchy, like up at the top.
Yeah. That beige washes out. The beige on the thumbnails washes out. This purple one's good, but I can't read the text.
Yeah. Like
the blue one's good, but again, I can't read the text.
Too many words in the purple one to me.
I would do instead of this black text, I would do a white text with a black border or black, what's that called? Shadow.
So I don't know if you do this, but like whenever I create my thumbnails in PicMonkey, I think you could do it in Canva. I know a lot of people love Canva. I like PicMonkey way more. I'd zoom out as far as you can go, not as far as you can go, but so that it's tiny, and see if you can still figure out what the video is about, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's clickable.
Yeah.
Because like from here to here, like I couldn't read it.
Yeah. So what he's saying is like this. So here's kind of some thumbnails I've created, right? So what he's saying is if you're going to click on this thumbnail, right, just zoom out and see how you can actually see it. Come on now. It says Texas internet. All right. Timing. So that's how it's going to look on your, on a thing. So can you still see that? I hate that this video is doing really well. Otherwise I would change the color of the text on that. But this is a prime example of what he's saying though. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's your face. Here we go. The Jeep one. Okay. So first off, okay. Back to the channel though. He's absolutely right. Just like this is a prime example. Just listed. I would have just listed fill up the entire thumbnail. And then I honestly wouldn't even bother putting the address on the house, but I would clear the back of this house so you can remove the layer or remove the background on like PicMonkey or whatever. I'd put like a super dramatic skyline in the back of that. So it like really pops. And
I
then
mean,
I would,
with these,
go ahead.
crap. With these, I feel like anyone can take their listing videos like this, do like what everybody's doing with the price, put it really big, and then you just put the city. So you would just put the city name, house, tour, whatever, for however much money it is. So instead of having to put the full address, so like perfect.
This.
Nice.
Brad McCallum made that one for me, actually.
Did he?
We were at Tom Ferry's office, and I was like, I'm going to make a really stupid thumbnail. He's like, let me do it for you. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great thumbnail. I'm not going to change one thing about it. So Brad McCallum, thank you. So that would be my advice, especially on that thumbnail, is I would definitely make this more clickable. Like some of these thumbnails just aren't very clickable, too much words. So I would be careful about how much you're putting on there. The intro in your videos, I would get rid of all of this right here. I mean, let's see, 8 seconds, 10, 11 seconds, 12 seconds.
So like I said, I cut mine from 7 to like 3 or 4 because I felt like 7 was too long, and it's in the middle. Like it's not even right off the bat.
I would literally cut all of that out and just start right here, because this would make me more entertained just starting with this versus the intro that they have.
I think you can do that now in the YouTube editor. I think they let you do that.
You can.
Okay. So
yeah,
I think
you absolutely can.
You can go in, change the video, say, chop this piece out so that it plays right off the bat.
Yep. I agree.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I would just chop it off completely. I think it'd do better. People would watch more. And then I'd go back and reassess your thumbnails. You're doing a book review. I don't know how that relates to real estate. Second annual Jeep Ocean cleanup. I don't know how that relates to real estate. I would have to see the video, but there's nothing clickable for me on that. So I would figure out a better title. I would show a bunch of trash in a Jeep, like show what you actually are doing.
In the city. Right?
Yeah,
the city
I would. I mean, if you had somebody holding a bunch of trash, like trash in their hand in front of a Jeep, and you had the word cleanup, I would be more interested than what this is. Like, go look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast did a whole one about picking up trash. That's the other thing, is you can go on, like, go to YouTube, go to the titles, like type in a title search, and then look at the thumbnails that come up. You can do you can change it to do like most viewed, and you can see that the thumbnail is the most viewed and just copy the most viewed. I mean, right?
And I don't know about you, but like when I started making these videos, I started to become more of a consumer of other channels, like not necessarily real estate, but I started watching more like how things are shot, like how things are done. What are the transitions like? Like I do abrupt endings on all of my videos where like you don't even know that because as soon as you give somebody a list like 1 through 10, when you get to 10, you're done, right?
Yeah.
So I try to like just chop things off, send them to other videos.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Learning from other channels, I think it's huge.
So let's talk about YouTube Shorts then. So I hope that helped, Michelle Nuth. I hope that helped. Shorts.
Now, if you're asking, are you asking me?
Yeah, I want to hear your feedback before I grill you on.
I have not done. I think I may have done one short total ever.
Okay.
I just started making the reels. I mean, I just started that like a day ago, 2 days ago on Instagram. So
it's been that long, or not? It's been that short of amount of time. I thought it would.
I just started doing them. I just started doing them like 3 days ago. So I mean, like I think I'm doing okay with them. So we'll see. We'll see how they go.
But you're not putting them on your YouTube channel.
Well, because my shorts are too long. Because I'm taking content that I've already created in YouTube and taking small snippets of it and putting them. So like this, Bob Seger lives here. So like,
yeah, I saw that video.
So that's a snippet. So I made a video on YouTube about celebrities that actually live in the state of Michigan, and I took and I'll make more of these. I just took the Bob Seger segment, chopped it down to a minute, like took out all the filler, and then created a reel out of it.
Yeah, that's
so
smart.
I just did that yesterday, right?
I watched this and I was like, this was well done. So as far as shorts goes, being on your YouTube channel, Michelle and anybody else we got people watching. I would recommend this. Try it out. Look at your analytics before you start doing shorts. Look at your analytics, where your analytics are. Don't put them on the same days that you're putting out your regular content. So like for me, my regular content comes out every Tuesday. I would not put them on Tuesday. I would put them like Thursday or Friday or another day. Try them out and see what happens. My feedback for my channel is I was getting a lot of views on them, but my overall watch time was dropping on my channel. My overall engagement time was dropping on my channel. And so then I took them off. And all of a sudden I went from like 50,000 views a month, now 62,000 views a month, and a ton of watch hours. Like it's like 5,300 watch hours. So the problem with YouTube shorts on YouTube is that they're not long enough and you don't have enough string of them. So people, in the way the process, like if you click on a YouTube video, somebody watches a YouTube video, now they can watch the next video and the next video and the next video. And now you have them watching your content for 45 minutes, hour, whatever. Shorts, if they click on the next short, now you've made them watch 5 minutes total. And so it's not the same. And I don't think the people that are watching your shorts actually watch your long form content. And the people who watch your long form content don't really care about your shorts. So there's not really a good crossover there from what I've seen, but I would recommend trying it and see how it fits for your channel. I'm
thinking, and that's what I've heard. So I was like, I don't know if I should mess with these because I keep hearing conflicting things from the YouTube experts. And I don't want to, like, once they have that all figured out, then maybe I'll jump into them. But I didn't want to put too much because I'll obsess over it. So I don't want to get into it too much, until they have it figured out. Yeah.
I would feed what the program is or the social media that you're putting out. What it wants is what you should put on there, not what it doesn't want. So like YouTube, it really doesn't work well with small short content. Even if you do like a 2 or 3 minute video, it might get watched, but unfortunately it's not going to have a lot of watch time. It's not going to keep people there as long. So be mindful of that. And Instagram stuff isn't YouTube stuff. YouTube stuff isn't Instagram stuff. It's not TikTok. So there you go. Paul, last words before we leave.
I have no last words. Just thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Well, this was fun.
If you like this, subscribe, share with a friend, share it with all your other realtor friends, and maybe call me sometime.